think one thing I have experience with is fucking up the refeeds and for water fasting and dry fasting, as I've made every mistake possible. I made myself very sick. So I just wanted to share what I've discovered, the best sort of ways that I found to break the fast. With the first one is with just standard water fasting. I don't do plain water fasting. I always use electrolytes. Plain water fasting, if you do it for some time, you can get what's called refeeding syndrome. So um, yeah, it's something to do with the electrolytes in the cells. So I never do it. Plain water fasting is very difficult, and you can get that that issue with the refeeding. So I never actually do plain water fasting. Plus, you lose all your electrolytes. So there's no energy. You can't really function. So when I break a saltwater fast, the first thing I always do, it's one of two things. I got this idea from Lauren Lockman's channel. He has like a center in Tanglewood, the Tanglewood Fasting Center out in South America, I think. And he either uses coconut water or watermelon. So I either do one of those two, depending on how I feel. Whichever one I do, I always wait. I have had it where I'll drink the coconut water and I start to feel uneasy. It's more with dry fasting it can happen. But if it does happen with the saltwater fasting, I suggest waiting. Watermelon commonly for people can cause nausea. So just take your time with eating the watermelon. And then if you do feel nauseous, just stop and wait. Either way, whether you break it with one or the other, give it a little bit of time from when you break it until you start eating normally. I don't know how much time exactly. Sometimes I can just do it, within 10 minutes or so. Sometimes it might be a little bit longer. Just wait until any stomach uneasiness has gone, and then proceed to eating normally. So what I'll do is I'll break it, wait a little while, break it with the coconut water or the watermelon, wait a little while. Then I'll start on a salad. I don't really eat leafy greens. It's more of like an avocado, olive, cucumber type salad. And then from there I'll just eat. I'll just keep eating. I do believe in fully refeeding yourself. Doesn't have to be that careful. You I mean, it's obviously always on whole foods, but you don't have to be too careful about the quantity as long as you stop at a certain point. So after the salad, I'll just move on to meats and any cooked foods, any cooked vegetables. So if you do it in that order, I tend to find that there's the least discomfort. And I stop either when I'm completely full or if I start to feel nauseous. That's when I know I've got to stop. The next is dry fasting. So with dry fasting, if it's a day or even maybe probably up to about 36 to 48 hours, it's not too important how you break it. But I find anything above, say, 40 hours or more, you have to be a lot more careful with dry fasting than with the plain water fasting. With the dry fasting, I still do the same thing. Usually it's coconut water. Coconut water contains a lot of electrolytes, a lot of potassium, so it's an excellent thing to break it with. But I will be very careful. So I'll drink probably about half a litre to a litre of coconut water. I will stop if I start feeling sick or any discomfort whatsoever. Because I found in the past, if I keep drinking the coconut water and keep going, if I feel sick, then there's a lot of problems caused. I get really bad diarrhea, I want to throw up, all this stuff. So drink the coconut water and wait. Depending on how long the dry fast has been, you could wait anywhere up to a couple of hours. If it's just been, say, 72 hours, I'll wait maybe half an hour, an hour, and then I'll start on watermelon. So same thing with the water fasting, but this time I do coconut water and then watermelon. So I'll do both instead of one or the other. And yeah, from there I'll wait again and then proceed to raw vegetables, cooked vegetables, and then meats at the end. So yeah, the main thing is just be a lot more careful with the dry fasting than the water fasting. Also, I found that if there's any if you're going to drink any smoothies, and I have done so in the past when I was vegan to try to get the vegan proteins in, the protein powder, pea protein or whatever, the smoothie, do it at the start, not the end. You do it right at the end, and you'll practically just want to throw up for hours after it. I don't know why that is, but if I drink the smoothie after I eat the meat, then it's really bad. So try it at your own risk. Um, so yeah, other than that, I think that's it. So just be a lot more careful with the dry fasting than the water fasting. If you're doing plain water fasting, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but it would be similar to dry fasting. The way you would break it, the way I've seen other people break it, is something like wait 2 hours in between each meal. But if you're fasting for 7 or 14 days on plain water, I've never done it, so I can't really advise you. I know the guys that do the Lauren Lockman thing, they'll do watermelon every couple of hours for a couple of days, or I've heard other people do juice for a couple of days, things like that. I've never needed to be that careful with the salt water and the dry fasting, but I mean, with plain water, you might need to be. Thanks, guys.